Hello everyone and welcome to another video. My name is Lance and today we're taking a look at some cut content from Dark Souls 3. Now to begin today's video, I'm just entering the High Wall of Lothric as a bit of a refresher as to how this area looks for the majority of the game. What you're actually seeing here is the network stress test version of the High Wall of Lothric, but as far as appearances go, this is pretty much how this area does look in the final game. Now many of you may know that in the final act of Dark Souls 3, the time of day is altered dramatically and the game goes into this Eclipse state. However, in Dark Souls 3's alpha codebase, there is another time of day that once played a large role in the game's multiplayer mode. To provide context, I've hacked this chest, which in the alpha is not a mimic. It usually contains a divine blessing. Here I've injected an item that hasn't been seen before. This item is called Ceremony Sword of Darkness. The description reads, when used, perform a ceremony to envelop the world in darkness. Followed by, for playable version, select this item to perform an eclipse ceremony. Unfortunately, this item can only be used in certain contexts that I haven't been able to recreate here. The player just shrugs if I try to use it. That's not a huge problem though, because I am able to just manually change one flag in the game's executable, and we will enter a completely new version of Lothric High Wall. The game's data files call this the Moonlight ceremony state. Now let me just say that a large proportion of this video is just going to be dedicated to taking in the visuals, so bear with me as I do take the time to appreciate the scenery throughout. Interestingly, the bonfires do not work during the Moonlight ceremony. By the way, I have gone ahead and turned off the enemy AI just to make exploration a little easier in this video. Typically the enemies behave the way you would expect regardless of the ceremony that's been performed. So some of you viewing may immediately recognize what you're seeing from the very earliest leaked screenshots of Dark Souls 3 that appeared on the internet years ago. And this is the first time we actually get to see real gameplay footage of what eventually was cut from the game. It was planned that this Moonlight ceremony would be a way to invite player versus player gameplay upon oneself. This is confirmed by the presence of one more item that I was able to find. This one is called Ceremony Sword of Flame. And the description reads, when used, invade a world that has been enveloped in darkness. Followed by, for playable version, select this item to perform an invasion ceremony. So the player was able to perform a ceremony to envelop their own world in darkness, and players with a ceremony Sword of Flame could invade their world after this. It's hard to know many specifics about how exactly this would have worked, but a third unused item also exists called Ceremony Sword, Battle Royale, Eclipse. This one has no description. Just with regard to this item, the kanji used for Eclipse is a combination of the Moonlight and World in Darkness characters from the previous items. So this may have been another way for players to engage in multiplayer events in Moonlight ceremonies. The Battle Royale term has been used in the Japanese version of Dark Souls in the past to describe multiplayer arena modes. So to some degree we might assume that Dark Souls 3's Moonlight Battle Royale ceremony was probably an extension of the PvP arena concept. There is a lot I don't know about how this mechanic originally played out, or how far it got before being cut from the game. But I'm certainly happy to be able to walk through a version of Lothric High Wall that has never been seen outside of a few leaked, very old screenshots before. And at this point, it obviously goes without saying that I'm not able to go online and actually try any of the multiplayer aspects of the alpha version. All we can really do is appreciate the left behind little bits and pieces and soak in the atmosphere of Lothric High Wall by Moonlight. So with all that said, I'm going to leave it at that for now. There's still a lot more I'd love to know about the ceremony system, and as always I have so much more to show you from Dark Souls 3 either way. So if you haven't already, do hit the subscribe button to keep up with my work here, and if you did enjoy this video, feel free to let me know by hitting the like button, or even leaving a friendly comment below. If you'd like a behind the scenes look at how I create these videos, you can follow me on Twitter at manfightdragon, and either way, thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.